These are the topics we'll walk through. So we'll walk through a little bit general updates, workspace, AI agents, role-based access, AI assistant, embedded chats, a little bit of workflows and AI podcasts. But the one thing I want to start is actually not listed here because it's a brand new capability. And I thought it would be nice to start with it. And just one comment before we drill in. I'll try to point out during my presentation what is already available and released and for you to try, and what will be in version 2.19. Version 2.19 is expected to release next week, so we don't need to wait a lot. So I'll start with the model which we call behavior intelligence. So behavior intelligence is a new model of our platform, and it addresses actually two main problems. So the first problem is about inability to measure AI usage and adoption. So here, for example, me as a manager at AGAT, I'm always concerned if our employees are doing the most from AI, who's using AI, how much, and how good they're using it. And I felt there's a lack of visibility. And we, as Pragatix, have the ability to measure what everyone is doing with AI and give you visibility on these aspects to really measure AI adoption. The second outcome of this new direction we took is about real-time in-context recommendations. So it's not only good to all the time say use AI more, the organization is better to give more practical recommendations how to use AI. And this product, what it does, it learns the behavior of other users in your department and gives you advice what are good ideas how to use AI. And also, before showing you it in a minute, the idea was that you need to compare AI employees within the same role or department. So for example, I can't compare the profile of a salesperson in the way he's using AI or the frequency to a developer. So the product all throughout this model is differentiating the measurements according to department. So we've said enough, let's have a look. I think that will speak better about the product. So the new model is called behavior intelligence. The reason we named it behavior because it has two aspects. It has an aspect measuring behavior for productivity, but there's also an aspect of measuring behavior for security awareness. So you want to train your users not to perform operations that are have a risk to the business. And if I open this model, I'll zoom into the first adoption dashboard. So the adoption dashboard gives you a high-level overview of what's going on in your AI deployment. And it captures all the traffic using our AI firewall, the extension or the proxy. Obviously, it captures interaction with Pragatix AI Suite, but here it's an overall view. So what we see here at the top is a dashboard showing you at high level, first of all, users that have growth opportunity. Users that have growth opportunities are users that don't use AI as much as other users in the same group. That's how we identify them. So we see other users in the same department. Let's say other developers use AI, let's say I'm just throwing a number, 15 times a day, and one user using only once or twice a day. So we assume he needs a little bit of more training. There's a little bit of very rough estimation of time saved. It's based on how much time each use case we believe is saved. It's very, very raw, but it's at least something to get an idea. And we also see here a little bit of how many tips we gave to the different users. And there are some more parameters. I don't want to drill too much into them, like the growth and so on. And here you have like a high level measurement. So first of all, you get an overall grade of your deployment. The grade is calculated again compared to the champions in your organization. So In each department, we identify the user who is using it most and most effective, and he's a reference for other users. And each department can get a score relative to this champion. And this is the overall score of your company. You can see here trend. This is fictive data, but it's just to get the idea. You can see here trends. Typically, they should be positive, obviously. And you can see scores by department. You can see the main use cases that we have identified and which departments have the most growth potential, the most users that need training. And there are some more charts that some of them are already familiar for you. So which AI services are mostly used in terms of prompt and in terms of users, trends over time. These are charts we already know in the past. But the basic for all of this adoption is the usage. So here, this is already known for those of you who are using the product. There's a list that comes with the product with different use cases. We call them usage. For example, programming, marketing, text improvement, and so on. And what this model does, it measures, it classifies the usages, and it measures how many times each user has used the AI with these specific use cases. And if I go here to the usage report, so I see which use cases are mostly used, and these reports are clickable. So I can click, for example, marketing content, and there I can see which department mostly use marketing content, and then I can click inside marketing content and see which are the most active users, and I can go even further and see the exact prompt of each user. So that was the report starting from the usage. Also, by the way, the usage, the model is expected to classify prompts that were not classified. So it will learn, for example, here you can see all sorts of prompts that we did not find any use case that matches, and the system will identify automatically the use cases and suggest them for the admin to use as use cases to measure. The next report, which is I think the core one more, is starting from the group, because as I said, I think looking from a group point of view is the most correct way to analyze the usage. So we start here by showing the most active groups in terms of AI. Below here, there are some metrics, like how many questions altogether, how many members, what is the top use cases, and what percent is it from the total. And below here, for each group or department, there's a small breakdown. What are the use cases and what is the trend of these use cases? And I can click here and see the full list of use cases. And every bar here, as before, is clickable. So I can zoom in. Let's say I'm managing the developer group. So I can zoom in into development, and I can see the most active users, or I can see it again in my department, which are the most common use cases. And like before, I can go here and say, okay, I want to know who's using data analysis. So these are the top users of data analysis, and I can see the trend of that use cases, and eventually I can go deeper in and see the exact prompt of, in this case was data analysis, I think. And if I zoom in here, I can even get some insights why the AI thought this specific prompt is related to data analysis. So this is one part of the product of this new model, which is about usage through the eyes of the group. The next related part, which I'll zoom in a little bit in the next webinar of the security, we can classify. If I go here to the usage list, each usage can be classified to be either general or risky, okay? If I add here a use case, so it can be general or risky. Risky are use cases that pose some threat to the business, okay? And here you can also see, by the way, I forgot to mention, you can also give higher grades or higher score to usage which we believe are more contributing to company growth. So for example, a developer may be using the AI just to document his basic value for the company, but if he's using it to generate code, maybe it will be optimized or something higher. So you can score each usage, and all the reports take into account the value score of each use case. Here you can see also you can add some training information, and I'll show you a little bit later where is this displayed for the user. So this is like if you want to educate the user on a specific topic, here you put the training content. Again, I'll return to it in a minute. But as I said, there are use cases which we consider risky for the company. Examples are financial forecasting, legal advice, using agents in general, maybe a security for the company, sharing financial info, and so on. And also here, once you define it as risky, you should have the ability to estimate also what is the risk level. And once set up these classification, there's a security awareness dashboard. So it's a little bit of a mirror of the adoption, but what it shows here, it filters all the use cases only to those that are risky. So here, you don't want your department to be top, okay? So the idea, again, it gives you a gauge of how risky you are based on the most optimal users. You can see risky by services, which AI services are used in more risky ways, and you can see it by users. And here you can see high risk users. You can see the most risky users and the most, I would say, not risky, but responsible users, okay? And you can zoom in and see specifically risky activity and to understand which activities we marked as risky and why. Next, we have the optimization tips. So the optimization tips is a periodic report that is generated by the system, and it gives you some overview on where your users are standing compared to company average or department average. So each user, you can see how many questions he asked. You can see how many of them we managed to identify the use case, and we compare it to the average in the department. So that's relative. It means these users specifically asked 73 questions, while the average was 127. So he's a little bit under. And also the potential refers to the champion. The champion, as I said, is the user that is using AI in most effectively value. The champions are marked here with a medal. So this is, for example, Hindi is the user that is mostly using AI in the customer support. So this column is compared to the score of this. So there's how you compare to the average and how you compare to the potential, okay? And also the system it generates reports. The reports can be sent from the system. And what we did currently, the reports that are for users that need growth require approval. So you can edit the report before sending, but because it tells the user you're a little bit below the average. And if I view a report, you can see some idea how it looks. So it gives you like, dear Grace, this is roughly where you're standing. This is the group average. And here we suggest some use cases for the user to consider that other users in his department are using. And it even would give you some tailored prompts regarding your area of activity to be used. And where all of this hits the user. So the report can be sent by email, but I think where it's a nice change that we have done. So we've added a chatbot assistant into the AI platform. So I'll go into this machine, 1 second. So here I'm the native ChatGPT. And those of you who are familiar with this icon that indicates that this ChatGPT is monitored. And if I ask a question that I prepared in advance, something that is sensitive, containing like credit card number, you see this is the new assistant, by the way, and here I can see my report. Okay, this is the report, so it's available here. But if I now ask something that contains something that matches any of the use cases, so this assistant should jump in and tell me, hey, you're doing something that requires attention. So here you can see, this should not be, but here you can see I have some feedback. And if I click on it, I get feedback that is in context to what I've done. So I've shared something sensitive, and this AGAT chatbot tells me do not include credentials. It gives me some tips, and here it can also give me some training material to go through. Okay, and where do I see this? Where do I configure this training material? If I go back here to the usage list, and I pick on this, for example. So here you can see these are training materials that you can add to the user that will be displayed when relevant. You just click add resource, you give it the type, video, article, playbook, game, whatever, the URL, the length, and some description. It is shown to the user. Okay, so we finished our first topic, which is really completely new in our portfolio, and I hope it is useful for you. The second part is like general changes in the UI. So for those of you who have seen, this UI is very new. We've done significant changes to the UI compared to previous versions. And here, some changes we can notice. So there's the recent chats that are here, shown below. The agents now have icons that represent the service provider. So for example, create image is done from Google, and deep search research is done from OpenAI. Also, when you click on an agent, let me just do it in a different environment. 1 second, sorry. Oh, no, sorry, I'll go back here. If you click on an agent, so now it is clear that you're now in an agent mode and which agent you're using. Okay. Let me see the other stuff I missed. An end user can now build a collection by himself. So he goes here into knowledge base collections, and he can build a collection. And we've also added something which is called live collection. Live collection, you go here and you define something, let's say HR. It's a collection is like a topic. It can be a project, a department, or anything like this. And here, if I click this, it will help me define the live collection. And when I create live collection, I've done something before named cars, for example. It means that every document that you upload, or any content, not only every document, email, sites, or whatever, automatically is classified. And if it matches the live collection, it will be added automatically to this live collection. Okay. So also what users can do now, they can also manage access. So they can share the collection with others. Users can now also create their own assistant. So if I go here to assistant, so they can create their own assistant. We've also improved the layout of the assistant, so you can upload very easily documents immediately into the assistant. You can add different data sources here, and there's some more advanced settings like, again, permissions, which models. You can also add additional data to the assistant. So that's like knowledge terms company terms that you always want to send to the AI when asking something related to the assistant. So assistants, for example, can contain very large data sources. And when someone asks a question, the way AI works, we first perform a search because you can't send all of the company documents to the AI. When you define something as assistant knowledge info, it is always sent. So you can put some terminology or names of projects or explanation that are unique to your company in which the AI may not be aware of. Let me see other stuff I might have missed. So creating collection languages. End user can now change his language. So there are two types of language. There's the interface language, so we support around 10 languages. And there's the chat language. So that's a bigger list of languages. It's something different. So the UI is a more limited list. And when you set some language here, it means that we'll always try to answer in this language unless it detects the question to be in English. Okay, so if you ask in English, it will return in English, but otherwise it will pick up the language set in the UI. This is an admin setting, but the user can overwrite it with his own preferences. We also have introduced an onboarding wizard. So any new users that logs into the system will receive a message. I can't show it right now, but it will encourage him to go into the onboarding. It looks something like this. So when you go to onboarding, it warns you that anything you upload there might be seen by others. So please make attention or pay attention not to upload something sensitive. The idea behind the demo is that it is already built with pre-populated data. So it's very easy for people to demonstrate and learn. And it is divided to 4 roles. The basic one is a business user. So it's about Workspace, general chat, smart chats, and soon agent. Then there's the technical user who has access to the admin site. So it walks you through the admin. What can you manage? What are the data sources assistant? There's a profile which is called security. So it's more about the firewall. So how to manage a policy, how to install the extension. And there's a 4th profile, which is data analyst, specifically for our data management analysis agent. And if I just tap into one of these, just to get the idea. So first of all, it tells you, hey, please notice you're in a demo. So this yellow line allows you to go back to your real account. And it just walks you through the different steps. So it explains to you, for some reason this is not working, but it should explain to you the different steps. Stuck here, sorry for that.
We can see it in BGD 15, I think, very well.
Okay. Let me do it in 15. Again, I'll choose this one. Yes, they explain you how you can add files and collections and the company and public stuff and changing the model and so on. Okay, that's the idea. We also changed, by the way you upload files. So you have this plus file that you can configure which data sources are available here. So you can add as an admin different data sources. I also forgot to mention we have, let me go back to my account. So go back to my account is done here. I forgot to mention when I spoke of the general chat, you can configure in the agent also MCP servers. So here, for example, I've configured Asana, okay? And if I click Asana, I can ask something about my Asana. So I can ask what are my last 3 tasks. And now it invokes an API call through the Asana MCP, and hopefully it will get the answers. This UI a little bit improved in the version 19, so you'll see here exactly that he works against Asana. Let's continue until it completes. So just I want to make sure I covered everything. The UI. Okay, another feature we have. Let me go here back to the admin center 24. We have introduced now a role-based access, very granular. So you can do 2 things under account management, users and groups. You have here role-based access, in which you can first of all set access in general. Which groups, so it syncs now with your Active Directory, so you can do it either group or user level. Which users and groups should have access to the workspace or the workspace in admin. The site is relevant for on-prem deployment when you're the site owner, but these are the main 2 rows you'll see. This is basics. You just type the group name, let's say marketing or whatever, and can set roles. But what is new here, that when you go to the admin, then you can show here exact items in the menu. So you can see exactly, for example, you can choose, let's say, firewall auditing is sensitive because you have access to all employees' prompts. So you can restrict it only to IT or CEO or whatever. So you can now very granular tailor profile which group or user has access to exactly which specific item in the menu. So you can have like a profile only for security, a profile for knowledge-based users, and so on. Okay, we've seen the end user be able to, we talked about the assistant. The next capability is about the embedded chat. We've introduced a few new cool things for the embedded chat. When you go here to the admin and you go to assistants, you can create an embedded chat like this. Also now the embedded chat can be authenticated if you want to deploy it inside the company and track usage, so you can authenticate it, but let's keep that for now. And here I can give it a name, let's say support, channel management, okay. And I can directly upload a file from here. So if I go here to my sample files and I look for a relevant document, I'll take this FAQ about channel management. I can also add other sources here from any resource I have. Here I can add the knowledge, the company knowledge, not important for now. I can set which models, and I can also define the assistant as an agent. So I can have, like, say, an assistant specifically translating documents or whatever. But let's for now stay with the knowledge. And here I can put an address to get the recap. So let's say I put demo for admin, sorry. Then I can go here. This is the new part. I can require or ask human assistant which means that the end user can say, I don't want the AI anymore, I want to speak to someone. And who is he speaking? You can add here. So the notification, I put again this admin for now. It means that when someone will ask for assistance, the admin will get a notification. And here I can set when is this support engineer available. So I'll just go to our time zone for a second, so it will be available. Jerusalem. You can set the days and times when the support is available. You can also add some preliminary question. What is the name of your company? And save it. Now that is saved, I can open it. And this you can embed in your website and ask anything like, what is the pricing model of channel?
First, you need to answer the question of the company.
Sorry. You're right. What is my company AGAT? And then I can ask, what is the pricing model? And send the question. That's a regular chatbot behavior so far. But let's say the question is not clear. And here I can say, okay, I want to ask for human assistant. So I click on this. And now the person who I've configured, which was admin, should get a notification. So let me just 1 second go to the admin mailbox. So here I got someone is requesting a human assistant, and I click here, join live chat. Oh, and I get an error, sadly. But I should have joined the chat and being able to answer the user. I think
maybe try it with Agi. Maybe it's a tenant problem.
Agi, okay, sorry, all right. So I need to configure it again, yes. Let me edit this. And go here to human assistant and do Agi at AGAT. Agi at agatsoftware.com. Save. Edit, not edit chat, sorry, open chat. Ask for human assistant. And let me go to Agi.
The third one, I think, the fourth one.
Okay, good. So here's the test 2, and I say, hi, my name is Agi. How can I help you? And here you see the conversation. So this is like a live chat. That's one option. The other option is when the support are not available. So let me change the support hours to, I don't know, some other time zone. Or just do like this maybe. And now you see the user has request callback because the agent is not available. So he just has a form and it sends the form to the agent in the email, and then he can answer from there. Also, there's a recap that is sent from the chat to the agent. So this was the embedded chat enhancements. Another feature that we have added is the ability to auto-respond by email. So it's a beginning of fundamental that we're putting in the product for workflow. That's the first one right now available. If I go here to the AI suite workflows, for now there's only one workflow, but we plan to add more. So here I choose email auto-respond. And what it does, you can give it a name. You connect it to an email. Let's say a classic use case is support mailbox. So whenever someone contacts support, so maybe sales, you can configure the system to answer. What is the configuration available? You can first of all add someone to be copied on the answer. You can decide whether to reply to the sender or to reply to someone, maybe because you want to review it before it is sent to the end user. And you can add here some guidelines how to answer. This is about how frequently to check the mailbox. And here is the main important thing. What should the answer, which knowledge should the answer be based on? So you can choose a specific collection. Let's say it's a support for Pragatix. So I'll add the confluence of Pragatix and a few documents or knowledge. And then whenever someone sends an email to the address which I define here, it will be shown, it will reply automatically based on the knowledge that I have configured. And there are some more pages here, but let me just 1 second go to one second, I'll show you this a little bit in our environment. So there's more data. So here you can, as an admin, you can see exactly to understand which job started and when and what did he do. So for example, this is the auto reply. So it gives you exactly how many emails he replied, what date, and so on. So this is all about the emails. The one last thing I think I have to cover is about audio. So we have two audio capabilities already available and one coming soon. The first one is on any content here, you can click and ask generate audio. Once you do this, the result appears here under audio list. So this is like content. I asked to get an audio summary of this document, and I can listen to it on my way home, for example. Okay, you can play the audio and listen to it. That's one capability. The other capability is about generated podcasts. So there's a full infrastructure here for generating and managing podcasts. So this is an example of podcasts I just created today before the meeting. So what I have in the podcast, so I have like the language, what style, was it an interview or informative, how long would the podcast be? I give a short description of the podcast. In this case, it's about agent security and a list of topics. Then I can set profiles to the speakers. So I can give the name, the role, the gender, the voice from a list of voice, and maybe some style guidelines, and I can listen to it. And in this case, I have two participants, so I need to define both of them. And there are some more advanced settings, not important for now. And once you set this podcast overview, you just then create an episode. So how do you create an episode? You click plus, and you choose the source. So the source can be either manually, you can choose a collection, you can upload a file, but what I think is pretty cool, you can ask it to fetch news items. So when you click on news item, you need to choose one of the topics you have said, let's say AI firewall, I don't know. And you do search, and it gives you latest news items about the topic you have chosen, and I can select one or two that I think are interesting. Then I can ask it to generate the episode for me based on the two news items I did. I can generate the description automatically. I can define how long is this episode or this podcast for, say 1 minute or 3 minutes, and some custom instruction. And this triggers a workflow. This is a system workflow, but you can probably see it here under workflow jobs, I think. Oh, better, yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's the workflow I did, and it's waiting, and it will notify me once done. So this is a very cool capability in which you can very easily manage podcast, and everything that I'm showing for you now is available in a secure on-prem environment. So that's where I think we are differ from general AI platforms. So I think I covered everything I needed a little bit even faster than what I planned because I was in a rush. Aviv, did I miss anything, you think?
Actually, I joined the meeting a little bit
Ah,
late. If we
okay.
spoke about the agent,
Yeah, we spoke about the agency. I didn't show does it work in environment 24 here? Let me say.
the agent, yes.
Okay, let me show you a little bit the new agent experience. So as you see, as I showed you, we improved a little bit. So I can do like analyze image, and I can add. I think I have an image. Do you remember, Aviv? Where's the example? Can you help me?
Um,
Data analysis. No, I think
yeah, data analysis.
this is an image, just a sample. Show you a diagram. I can choose it, and I can ask the AI, please explain this image using the analyze image tool. Why it's taking a long time? So here you see that's part of the changes we've done. We've given the user indication that we're using a tool of the AI agent. While we're waiting for this, let me show you a little bit other cool tools we have. So we have analyze Excel, analyze image, convert document, create image, deep research, perform calculation, send email, speech to text. What we are also adding, I forgot to mention, we're adding the ability to transcribe recording. And what will be cool about this, it will not only transcribe the recording, it will try to match the names from the transcript. So how does it do it? It searches for relevant sentences. Typically, for example, at the beginning of the meeting, people introduce themselves. They say, okay, I'm Yoav, I'm the product manager of AGAT, and that's how we match it. So that's a workflow we'll be adding shortly. Speak to text, translate files, a very powerful tool that is able to translate files and preserve original formatting, visualize data, web search, create video. That's also a cool thing. And as I said, you can connect any MCP server. Let me see if he finished. So here you see he understood the image. He explained. First, you receive a complaint. Then, does the complaint meet the criteria? Okay, so that's part of the tool. And in part of user experience, you can see here the next question is also by default using the same tool, but you can remove the tool and choose other tools or go back to knowledge. That's also a change we have done. Anything else, Aviv? Or I think we have time to questions if anyone has.
Yes, there are actually some questions in the Q&A portion.
Can you please take us through the usual client projects so they could better understand if you are also helping to integrate your tools as well? Can you explain? I'm not sure I understood. How do I get rid of this?
We need to enable his mic, his microphone.
I've enabled his mic.
Yeah.
Can you please take us through user client project? We can better understand if you are also helping integrate your tool as well.
Oren, your mic is unmuted, so you're welcome to ask your
yes.
question or elaborate.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry,
I'm
I was
sorry,
trying to.
I'm not
I added
sure.
a comment to explain, but that's okay. I was just asking if your solution basically is available for clients to use as is and just to integrate it by themselves, or do you also deliver services to help your clients to configure it, especially when it comes to on-prem usages?
The answer is yes. Obviously, we deliver services. We try to make the platform enterprise ready as much as possible. So our goal is it is a platform you install and the day after you can enjoy AI. But we realize always on-prem, like most of the challenges with on-prem, is just getting it to work. To put the Dockers, the Kubernetes, or whatever platform you're using, to open the firewalls, to connect to Active Directory, to enable SSL and all these challenges. We obviously help. We also very much encourage working with partners. So I'm not sure where you're from, sorry, but we have good valued partners that help us with these services. But the answer is yes. It's not like completely plug and play, though it's available as a SaaS, but when it's on-prem, it's more challenging to install it. No question. The answer is yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Does the work with drag and drop file upload? I don't remember. Aviv, do we support drag and drop? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
I'm not sure, but what I can tell you a little bit about file integration, we can add it easily. It's a good idea. But what we have, maybe I did not mention, we have two things. One, we have a server-side agent in which you install on your network file storage or somewhere with access, and it automatically syncs folders from a specific file location in the network. So it's like completely transparent to you. I can send the documentation later. The idea is you have some files in your network and you want to sync them. You install this agent and it listens to events in this folder, meaning any file that is added, deleted, or modified, or permission changes are automatically synced. So that's something we already have. And we also have a new agent, which is a more personal, because this agent, what I told you about now, is not friendly. It's like for an IT to install and configure. But we have a new solution now, which is a personal agent that has UI. And I'll send you a little bit documentation later. I don't think I have it installed here. I don't remember. It's this one, I think, no? Yeah, this one. So this agent is for personal use. So you can select folders, and these folders are synced automatically to the workspace. So you can define folders that you want as an end user that you want to sync, and they are synced into the workspace, and then you can ask questions directly from the workspace or just chat from them from here. So while it did not answer your exact question, probably the answer to your exact question is no, but we can add it. It just reminded me of two other options that I'm not sure you're aware, how an end user or how files can be synced to the system. Next question. The model is very interesting. Is it similar UBA type solution? What is also nice about it? Can you explain, Andre, to me what you had in mind? Janine, can you unmute Andre if needed?
Yes.
Hi, you're
So
here.
yeah, exactly. This is a drop one to my mind once you were talking about AI behavioral analysis, the new module that you actually added. So basically, the UEBA, it stands for User and Entity Behavior Analytics, and those type of solutions can calculate and learn the user's baseline activities,
Yeah,
and based on that, they can catch anomalies.
yeah,
So
for sure.
it's similar that you presented, but this specific use case for it.
Yeah, I completely understand. So you're completely in the correct direction. As I said in my introduction, this update today is more for productivity. I'll have another session on security, and certainly anomaly detection is basic there. So it's something we're certainly planning to add, anomaly detection. We already have some level of anomaly detection. I can show you here for a minute, just for those of you who are not familiar. See, if I go here again, you can go here to the demo account. There, the data is already ready for you to demonstrate. So we already have here, if I go to, this is a little bit about our security, but here there's a model which is called anomaly detection. And today we track 2 or 3 events right now, very straightforward, like number of questions not answered, and so on. But we plan to enhance this anomaly detection engine really to detect anomaly in a very advanced way, like exactly like you mentioned. Because we have all the data, what users typically do, what hours they operate, which device they're connecting from, which country they're coming from, all sorts of characteristics, we certainly plan to add more intelligence into that to detect anomalies related to usage. So you're right, Andre, that's the direction we're about to take. It's not fully functional, but it's certainly something we want to reach for. We hear that it's a very requirement when talking about, agents, because it's hard to detect what is correct and what is incorrect for an agent to do, because it does a lot of things. So anomaly detection is an important part of detecting wrong activities by agents. I hope it answered. Anyone else wants to add?
There is another question at the top.
Okay. About the multi-language support, is it possible to provide UX in Japanese? Yes, for sure. I think we already have it in Japanese, no? I think in, Aviv, do you remember?
Yes, we do have it.
We have in Japanese. Let me show in the version 19, which was here, I think.
I think you can already see it in BGD 15.
Yeah, you have Japanese. Okay, so I can do the Japanese, and I don't know to read it, but it looks Japanese to me.
And of course, the
this
chat
is
responds in Japanese.
Yeah.
If you said
Okay. Anyone else?
I think there is a few more questions in the regular chat.
Wow.
If you scroll a bit up, maybe.
It's all the meeting recording. This new GUI is fantastic. Thank you, Jude. I don't see any other questions. Maybe I missed. It's a good opportunity to thank our partners, as some of them are here. We won't be able to succeed without your believement and commitment, and I hope you're excited like I'm really excited with the new directions we're taking. Like I keep thinking and innovating, and I think we're delivering very powerful tools. I think the AI agent firewall, which I'll discuss in our next session, is a real deal breaker. Like it's a strong requirement in the market, and it's real and painful and dangerous, these agents. It's not like prompts that, maximum give a wrong answer or something like this. These agents are very dangerous, and we will be happy to introduce to you, I think in 2 weeks, already a first version of real-time control over AI agents in terms of what agents are allowed, which tools they're allowed to use, which operations are allowed to do by users, by groups, by environments. So it's very cool. And it comes together with the proxy that enforces using our AI gateway. That's the new component what will control agents, but all of this we'll leave for our next meeting.